Andrew Tate, a name synonymous with controversy, wealth, and unapologetic masculinity, found himself under fire not from usual critics or media outlets, but from his own loyal fan base. It's a rare sight. Supporters who have long defended Tate's every move, every tweet, every headline, suddenly drawing a line in the sand. The catalyst? A video that surfaced online showing the former kickboxing champion and internet entrepreneur casually smoking a cigar while his young son played nearby. The internet, as always, exploded. But this time, it wasn't just the usual chorus of detractors. It was the fans, the Tate Army, who found themselves forced to reckon the side of their idol they hadn't anticipated. Was this just another overblown internet scandal? Or is this the moment that will define the next chapter of Andrew Tate's already storied career? Let's dive deep into the heart of the controversy, explore the reactions, unpack the cultural implications, and ask the questions that matter. How did we get here? And what does this mean for the man who built an empire on being untouchable? It started, as many stories do in the digital age, with a 30-second clip posted late at night. The footage was casual, almost mundane. Andrew Tate, dressed in his signature designer loungewear, reclined on a velvet sofa, cigar in hand. His young son, barely old enough to form full sentences, darted in and out of frame, playing with a toy car. To the casual observer, it might have seemed harmless, but for those attuned to the nuances of online culture, the sight of smoke curling through the air as a toddler toddled nearby was jarring. Within hours, the clip was being shared, dissected, and debated across every social platform imaginable. Some viewers shrugged it off. Others, however, couldn't stay silent. What makes this story fascinating isn't the predictable outrage from anti-Tate commentators or health advocates. It's the response from those who have, until now, stood by Tate through every controversy. The comments weren't just critical, they were personal. "I've followed you for years, but this isn't it, bro," wrote one longtime supporter on Tate's official forum. "I can defend a lot, but smoking around a kid? That's not what you preach." Another fan posted on Twitter. On Reddit, a thread titled "Is Tate Going Too Far?" quickly racked up thousands of upvotes. The responses were split. Some came to Tate's defense, arguing that he's a grown man who can make his own choices. Others, however, drew a clear line. "As someone who grew up with a parent who smoked, I know what that does to kids. I can't support this," one commenter wrote. To understand why this moment resonated so deeply, it's important to look at the science. The dangers of secondhand smoke are well documented. According to the World Health Organization, more than 1.2 million people die each year as a result of exposure to secondhand smoke. Children are especially vulnerable. Secondhand smoke contains more than 7,000 chemicals, hundreds of which are toxic, and about 70 that can cause cancer. For young children, exposure increases the risk of sudden infant death syndrome, SIDS, respiratory infections, ear problems, and more severe asthma. Even brief exposure can be harmful. For many fans, knowledge of these risks made the video hard to watch. To understand why this incident hit such a nerve, you have to understand Andrew Tate's brand. Tate has built a persona around strength, success, and self-mastery. He preaches the importance of discipline, resilience, and personal responsibility. His fans see him as a symbol of unapologetic masculinity in a world they believe is increasingly hostile to traditional male values. But with that brand comes expectation, a belief that someone who preaches strength must also embody in every aspect of their life, including as a father. For many, the image of Tate smoking around his son felt like a betrayal of those values. If he's willing to expose his own child to harm, what does that say about his commitment to the ideals he espouses? This incident is more than just a parenting debate. It's a case study in the power and peril of internet celebrity. Social media has made public figures more accessible than ever before. Every moment, no matter how private, can be captured, shared, and scrutinized. For someone like Tate, whose brand is built on authenticity and transparency, this presents both an opportunity and a risk. Fans feel a sense of ownership, a belief that they have a stake not just in his public persona, but in his private life as well. When Tate's actions don't align with their values, the backlash is swift and severe. Being a parent is hard enough. Doing it in front of millions of people is another level entirely. Every decision is open to scrutiny, every mistake amplified. For Andrew Tate, who has openly discussed his views on fatherhood and masculinity, the stakes are even higher. In interviews, Tate has spoken about the importance of being a role model for his son, of teaching him strength, discipline, and self-reliance. For many fans, the image of him smoking around his child felt like a contradiction. Being a father means setting the right example, one commenter wrote. How can you teach your son to be strong if you're exposing him to harm? To put this controversy in context, it helps to look at how attitudes towards smoking, and especially smoking around children, have changed over time. In the 1950s and 60s, smoking was everywhere, in homes, in cars, even in hospitals. It wasn't uncommon for parents to light up with their kids in the back seat. But as the health risks became clear, public attitudes shifted. Laws were passed banning smoking in restaurants, workplaces, and eventually even in cars with children. Today, most people view smoking around kids as not just unhealthy, but irresponsible. For a public figure like Tate, who is watched by millions, the stakes are even higher. Social media has a way of amplifying controversy. A moment that might have gone unnoticed in another era becomes a viral sensation overnight. The algorithm rewards outrage. The more people engage, the further the story spreads. For Andrew Tate, who has built a massive following online, this is both a blessing and a curse. His fans feel connected to him in a way that wasn't possible before the internet. But that connection also means they hold him to higher standards. In the wake of the controversy, all eyes were on Tate. Would he apologize, explain, or double down? True to form, Tate responded with a mix of defiance and introspection. In a video posted to his followers, Tate addressed the criticism head-on. "I'm not perfect," he said. "I make mistakes. But I refuse to live my life according to other people's rules." He went on to defend his parenting, arguing that